Hello everybody. So if you're a young aspirational person who wants to have best out of your life, then this video is for you. So today, let me explain you why it is not a wise decision to buy a house before turning 36 and why it is actually a very smart decision to actually wait for it. Here we particularly mean early, which we consider the age 36. Nowhere we're saying that buying a house is a completely wrong decision. That topic is for later discussion, so stay tuned for that. Let us name my friend Jonas, who got married at the age of 29 and bought a house at the age of 30. Right now, he's 36. So let me walk you through his life around this home buying decision and all the aspects of his life that got adversely affected because of this. According to recent data, nearly 68% of the working people buy a home within the first 7 years on their job. Here, Jonas is no different and has caught up in the 68% of this crowd of these home buyers after working for 6 years at his job. His decision of buying a home so early in career was hugely influenced by his family and relatives. He was told that renting is a waste of money and there are benefits of buying a property. Maybe it was all part of the culture, traditions, and online experts and influencers, but it's also true that many of the people learn about housing trap the hard way by experiencing themselves. At the age of 30, Jonas felt proud to own a home, a symbol of success and stability. But what he didn't anticipate was how this decision would strain his financial health in the long term. With a mortgage that will be consuming nearly 80% of his salary for the next 12 to 15 years, Jonas found himself in a tight financial situation. Post the mortgage payment, he was left with only 20% of his income to cover other essentials. Forget about anything beyond essentials. No fun, no nothing. And this situation of his was going to continue for over a decade. Jonas realized he was missing out on the opportunity to grow wealth through investments. He saw the market trends giving good returns, but with most of his income tied up in mortgage payments and essentials, he had literally nothing to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds that could offer compounding returns over time. He watched his peers diversify their portfolio and steadily grow their wealth, but he is all empty pocket here. On surface, he looked wealthy with his homeowner badge, but from inside it was killing him on many levels. If Jonas has postponed house ownership, focusing instead on saving and investment, he could have had enjoyed greater financial flexibility and stability. By the time he reached 36, he might have been in a very strong position to purchase a home without sacrificing his financial freedom. When Jonas bought his house at 30, it seemed perfect for his life at that time. The 2-bedroom, ideal for a single man or for a couple, but as his life evolved, so did his needs. The arrival of the first child turned the house into a scrapped space, lacking storage and flexibility for the evolving lifestyle. The challenges escalated as his family grew in numbers along with the age of the kids. Statistically, 90% of the homeowners feel that they need to change their home within 12 years of the purchase, and Jonas here was no exception. And soon, like many homeowners, they sell their property under distress and eventually end up selling it lower than the market price under urgency and desperation. If Jonas had delayed his purchase, he could have chosen a home that met both his present and future needs, avoiding the stress and financial burden of moving again. Buying a slightly larger house early was either impossible to buy or seemed like an unnecessary expense. But with a heavy mortgage and no savings, it made it impossible to even think of buying another house. When Jonas signed a 15-year mortgage at 30, he didn't realize that it would also affect his career and dreams. His mortgage and basic essentials were consuming 100% of his income, and with no form of investments and backup, this made job security more critical than ever. Working at different cities and locations could have shaped his future for the better. At one point, he was offered an excitement role in a startup that promises growth and innovation. Another opportunity came from a smaller company that needed someone to lead a team. Jonas liked both of these roles, but they carried the risk of relocating himself to a new city or another country, hence adding more additional expenses over the basic ones, which Jonas just couldn't afford. And with this, he jeopardized his future of more growth, better future, only because he tied up himself to the house and mortgages. The impact of early decision didn't stop there. Jonas had always dreamed of starting his own business on the side with his best friend. They had a plan and a good idea, and they needed to give 100% of their time for a couple of months or maybe 1 or 2 years. They knew that for this time they would not make any money, but maybe make millions after this period. But Jonas' mortgage left him with little room to take that business risk. Later, his best friend left Jonas and looked for another partner as he wanted to pursue the business. And years later, the business went well, and looking at the success, Jonas felt regretted. If Jonas has postponed buying a house until 36, his financial situation and mindset would have been completely different. He could have used those early years to save more, explore new career paths, and even invest in himself through education or personal development. Without the constraint of mortgage, he might have had the freedom to take risks, grow professionally, and build wealth in a ways that owning a home at 30 simply didn't allow. Owning a home at 30 quickly turned into a source of tension with his family. The financial strain of hefty mortgage meant cutting back on small joys that once brought happiness. Vacations, which had been time for bonding and relaxation, become a rare luxury. Even modest travel plans came up with guilt. How could they prioritize leisure when the mortgage demands such a hefty part of their income? Jonas was determined to pay off the mortgage as soon as quickly possible, focusing every spare penny on the house, while his partner yearned for a more balanced approach, allocating funds for shared dreams like exploring the world or starting a family. Had Jonas waited to purchase a home, the story might have been completely different. They could have planned better, saved more, and chosen a house that could accommodate a growing family. Instead of a source of stress, the home could have been a place of joy and comfort. By rushing into home ownership, Jonas unintentionally created challenges that rippled through his family life. Challenges that could have been avoided with more time and foresight. So, final thoughts. The decision to buy a house is a big financial decision with long-term implications. So that was our video on why you need to wait till 36 before buying a house, and hope you like this video. We'll have much more content on this channel, so stay tuned and subscribe.